Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio in partnership with the show with E360 TV. A very warm welcome to our viewers that are regular and coming here regularly from USA Global TV and Radio, and a warm welcome to our new viewers and our new listeners from E360 TV. And today, especially a very warm welcome to our new viewers from Instagram. Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio in partnership with E360 TV. Our show today is Talking Heads, and I'm an expert presenter in today's topic, which is overcome abandonment issues in relationships. It's part of the Mind and Body Connection series. A very warm welcome, whether you're here in the morning, in the afternoon, or the evening, wherever you are in the world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And I look forward to sharing with you some interesting insights. I am looking forward to you listening and becoming aware and for your own healing journey. Let's begin. So overcome abandonment issues in your relationships. I always like to start my presentations or my talks with a quote. And my quote today is from David Levithan. And he actually was the author of Boy Meets Boy and a number of books that he has now created in partnership with others as films. And he says, I cannot think of a single word to describe what we feel. I think we all feel it to varying degrees. Perhaps in some other language there is a word for the world is terribly wrong. That feeling of stun and unbelief and abandonment and shock and horror and distress. David Levithan. That felt like a very powerful share, and it will give you some insights into where my talk is going to go to today. Oprah Winfrey said, "The struggle of my life created empathy. I could relate to pain, being abandoned, having people not love me." Oprah Winfrey. Now, we know that Oprah Winfrey is notoriously world-renowned for interviewing many types of people and in their estranged journeys of trauma, distress, their woes, whether they're famous, not famous, and actually taking people that were not famous to become world-renowned. So I want to look at some of the issues that are relevant and prevalent to somebody that is suffering with abandonment issues. And one of the key things that happens is they tend to push people away. Even though the person is suffering with abandonment issues and does not want to be on their own, they tend to be pushing people away from them in all sorts of aspects of their life. Do you know someone like that? Or do you do that in your life? Do you want them to be there and yet you're repelling them by pushing them away? This is what I call an ambivalent flow, when you want them in your life, but you're pushing them away. And what kind of things would somebody do to push people away? It might be that you, as the person that has abandonment issues, wants the person in your life and desperately tries to hold on to them. And at the same time, you're not wanting the commitment. You're feeling emotionally unavailable to be with that person. And more importantly, you're not feeling comfortable because you're not feeling that you can emotionally be your full self in that relationship. So it might be that you are slightly unemotionally available. You are available to the degree of having that person in your life, but not ready to commit fully in terms of the relationship and the commitment of what a full-fledged relationship would look like. So there is parts of that that would make you emotionally unavailable, and that's what it would look like. And even though you want them to be with you, you're also repelling them, pushing them away, saying, you don't love me, you don't care about me, you don't want me. This can also appear in the work situation where somebody's super performing and doing really, really well and knows that their part to play within the company is cherished and welcomed, and they're a superstar in the company, and yet they do it from a place of unemotion. They do it from a place of being needed. So this person, although they are suffering with abandonment issues, they need to be needed. So they will feel very clingy and very needy. And at the same time, when you come closer to them, they will feel uncomfortable about that emotional commitment, and they'll almost pull away. And it's a bit like a dance. The more you get closer, the more they will push you away. And if you back off, they'll come closer to you. And so this is the energy dance, and known as the ambivalent flow. They want you to be there, but then they're not ready to fully be with you. And so they will push you away. They will say everything to make you not want to be with them, and yet they crave you being with them. It's crazy. And it's really, really challenging for both people, both parties, because it becomes an energetic drain on both people, the one that's suffering with abandonment issues and also the person that is in that place of wanting to be in that full-fledged relationship with the person that's pushing them away. It's not easy. So what do you do about this? Let's explore a little bit more before we come up with some solutions. Are toxic relationships a sign of abandonment issues? Yes, they are. They're very much a sign of abandonment issues, because the very nature of wanting to be in a relationship, if you are suffering with abandonment issues, the very nature of wanting to be in a relationship committed with somebody emotionally and physically actually draws attention away from somebody that is emotionally available themselves into a toxic relationship where there will be a struggle and a fight to be staying in that relationship. And very much it might be that the person that is looking for that kind of relationship lands up in narcissistic relationships because the other person won't be emotionally available because they're not. If you are not emotionally available and open for commitment, you will tend to attract people that are in the same energetic space. And so this is where you'll want to be with them, but not want to be with them. It's toxic. So can you see the ambivalent flow again? It's coming in. You want to be in that relationship, and yet it doesn't serve you. But you will be in that relationship if you are the person that has abandonment issues, because it's better the devil you know rather than one you don't. And at least this person gives you some affection, gives you some emotional attachment some of the time. And so it causes some conflict, and again, more ambivalent flow of wanting to be in that relationship, and actually the toxic effect of being in that relationship is challenging and causes even more isolation and desolation of the abandonment issue. So where do we go from here? Do you find that you lose your identity? Do you find that you become pleasing to the other person, making sure that their needs are met, that everything that they want to do is what you do. And essentially, you compromise yourself from being in that relationship. What do I mean by that? If you show up as a people pleaser because you're desperately wanting to hold on to that relationship, even though there's a challenge for you to be committed in that relationship, emotionally, physically, and in that friendship of the relationship, especially if it's within a business, as a work colleague, if you are committed to being there, and yet you will be almost aloof and be swallowed up in the other person's identity. I hear many people say that they're in relationships and they might be the mother, the wife, the child in the mother-daughter relationship. They might be the person that does the housework, the person that does the cooking, the cleaning, the person that does everything but what they need. And so they make sure that everybody else's needs are met and they don't meet their own. And so it'll be almost like living in the other person's shadow, becoming a yes person and doing everything that the other person wants to do. And slowly, it might take years, but you slowly lose your own identity and fall into the other person's shadow, so that there is a need and there becomes a codependent relationship, that you need that other person to be in your life because you've become part of them. Let me give you some insight in this. Many people say that they step into the different masks, they wear the masks of the different identities that they feel that they are playing the part of: the mother, the daughter, the washer-up, the houseworker, the person that irons the shirts, the person that makes sure that the kids get to school on time, the person that makes sure that everybody is okay, and then they're exhausted and there isn't space or energy or time for themselves. Does that sound like you? Does that sound like somebody you know? Does that sound like somebody you're in a relationship with right now? That your needs are being met, but the other person is doing everything for you. It can almost be detrimental just as much for the other person that is in the place of being in the compromise, that they are getting everything that they need. They will feel there's an imbalance and it won't feel good. Both parties in that relationship, whether it's professional, friendship, whether it's a family relationship or an intimate relationship, will be very, very challenged, because you are your own person. And if you get swallowed up into somebody else's identity, somebody else's shadow, there isn't room for that person to carry you as well as you being part of them. There's only one person that you can be, and that is yourself. And if you feel that you've fallen into somebody else's shadow, whether it be professional, friendship, emotional, family, or relationship, intimate, wherever you sit and you found that you've lost your identity and you're doing everything to please the other person, you're in a state of compromise, stop, look around, and find where you are, what you like, what's good for you, what are your choices for yourself. It's only in awareness that you can actually stop the behaviours that are not serving you. Do you go from one relationship to another? Do you fall in love quickly? Do you go from one relationship, ending it, and then go straight into another within days or weeks? Do you find that you don't have time to assimilate and to be on your own? You don't have time to heal from the breakup. You don't have time to move forward from where you've been before you go next. Does that sound recognizable to you? Is that something that sounds familiar to you? Or are you with someone that's doing that? Do you see them going from one to another and never actually being on their own? If you recognize either yourself or someone else in that space of going from one relationship to another, this is because there is something inside telling them to not be on their own. They need to be with someone. They need to feel loved, adored, and worshipped. And at the same time, it causes a confrontational conflict within themselves because the intimacy, the raw side of intimacy, pushes them away from that relationship being lasting. So they will go from one to another because they won't be able to hold down the intimacy of that relationship. They crave it. Again, the ambivalent flow. They crave it and want to be in that intimate relationship, that emotional relationship, but they can't be in it because they fear their abandonment issues. They fear that the person will let them down. So then there becomes a trust issue. There becomes that they don't believe that this is right for them. They're not worthy. It will cause self-esteem issues of worthiness of being in that relationship that they're in. So they will be going from one to another to another. They will have friendships that will go in and out. And it's because there is some unexpressed and unresolved relationship issues in terms of abandonment in relationships. Now we're going to explore why this is happening, but this will feel very odd for the person because they'll be able to find very lovely people to be in friendships and relationships with, and then something happens, something combusts, and something stops working, and then they move on. And then it becomes another seeking out someone else to satisfy their requirements for the abandonment. They need to be in that relationship, and there is no self-healing in between, or very little time for them to heal from the past relationship before they go into another. So all that happens is they bring the issues from the one relationship that are unresolved into the next relationship. Now, here's an insight for you. When all the relationships aren't working, there's one common factor, and that's you. You are the person that's in all of the relationships and friendships. And if it's you that's in every single relationship and friendship, there is something that's not right in you and that needs resolving. And the reason these issues come up is for you to go into a place of healing, to go into a place of what have you learned? How have you moved from this situation to another? How have you grown? And when you go into the trauma of the breakup and the abandonment, the healing side of it, this is where when you give yourself space and time to heal, then it will make it easier for you to be in a much more committed and emotional relationship. What causes abandonment issues? Many things cause abandonment issues. You will be surprised at the myriad of situations. A child is not emotionally equipped to be able to handle situations. They haven't got the emotional involvement to be able to deal with what happens in their family. So it could be as simple as a divorce. It could be as simple as the parents breaking up or arguing. It could be a bereavement in the family, such as an adult, an uncle, an aunt, a grandmother, a grandfather. It could be a niece, a nephew, or somebody that's close to them, a friend that has actually physically died. That's one of the first things, because when they're young, they don't actually have an understanding of what happened. The person is there and then they're not there. And what happens is they don't know how to process that. And generally, when there is a physical bereavement, many adults don't know how to handle that and speak to the child so that they can overcome it and process what's happened. They just feel they've been abandoned and left. Even if it's a divorce, a breakup of the parents, the child usually, because they're not emotionally involved, starts to get angry. And if they don't express the anger and abandonment issues, it suppresses. And when you suppress what you are feeling because you don't know how to process it and who to process at and what to do about what you're feeling, it gets suppressed. And then when you suppress the emotions and feelings, what happens is you move into the mind. And then you go into a place of existing through life and going through the emotions without the emotion, going through the motions without the emotion. So literally existing, going from one thing to the next thing. Everything will be an event or a situation or a thing to do. Diaries will be full. But when you're going from one thing to the next thing and not feeling from an emotional place, you will almost feel cut off, detached from life, from people, from living a more fulfilling life. And you might not even know as an adult why you're feeling like that. Because when we suppress the feelings and emotions from something that has happened in childhood, and it could be a trauma, it could be bullying, it could be a sexual experience that has gone wrong, it could be somebody that has been emotionally abusive to the child, it could be that they've lost both parents very young and they've been put with grandparents. There's many reasons, that won't make sense to the adult because the adult deals with them, but the child has no emotional outlet to be able to process what has happened, and they have to just get on with it because they don't know. It's not taught in schools. One of the challenges that I know a lot of children will experience in their adulthood is the changes that the world had experienced in 2020 and to late 22 in terms of education, in terms of the isolation in their education and the treatment of not being able to go out with their friends. I know for sure that they had to handle it, get on with it, and just get through their schooling and their studies and get their exams. Now, that won't be telling on them now, but it will come up as a trauma much later in life. And it won't make sense where it's come from because the child has just got on and dealt with things as they've come up. But what happens is whatever is not handled essentially gets pushed down, and then they start working from a place of mistrust, misjudgment, needing the emotional tie, needing the emotional connection with people, friends, family, events, situations, but not actually ever feeling that they get it. There will be a resistance to any type of intimacy because the intimacy will go into the emotions and feelings and will make them feel very fragile, uncomfortable. So there'll be a huge amount of mistrust and distrust because at the root of it all, they don't trust themselves. They don't know what happened. Healing abandonment issues. This quote is from Kenny Loggins. I had to get in touch with the source. I had to go back into the abandonment issues with my mother. I had to go into issues with my father I hadn't even looked at before. Let me repeat that. I had to get in touch with the source. I had to go back into my abandonment issues with my mother. I had to go into issues with my father I hadn't even looked at before. Kenny Loggins. Now, Kenny Loggins is a famous actor and singer, and he did Footloose and became very famous and did very well. So he has fame, fortune, success, and yet suffered with abandonment issues. Now, sometimes we don't even realize because nobody tells us, but when you become aware that you're being distant and finding challenges in any type of relationship, whether it's a friendship, a business relationship, whether you're in an intimate relationship and can't seem to get close to someone and going from one relationship to another, these are signs. It's not exhaustive. I've only covered a few of the signs as someone that is struggling with abandonment issues. The best way forward is to seek therapy and is to go to see someone to help you through the root causes, to bring them up, to help you heal what was not healed when you were younger. And the reason for that is you can't solve the problem in the same consciousness that you created it. And so it's important to seek out somebody that is qualified to be able to help you through that journey and take you to a place of recovery. Thank you for your interest and your attention. Please subscribe to USA Global TV and Radio. You can find all of our Talking Heads episodes under the playlist Talking Heads. You'll find all of my Talking Heads episodes under the playlist Talking Heads with my name, Caroline Heward. There is a myriad of topics that I have covered, and this is only a short presentation, a short talk to cover a very deep issue of trauma, and one that many people will be challenged by, especially in the holiday times, and especially in times when families and relationships come to the fore. I offer a free consultation. Please reach out to me on nomore@live.co.uk and book in your free 30-minute consultation, or call me if you're international, +44, if you're local, 07523 120 189. I look forward to helping you break through your abandonment issues. Namaste.
This program is brought to you in part by the British School of Excellence and founder, Mr. Philip Sykes, building confidence, changing lives. Do you share our view that etiquette is a set of modern life skills that are essential for personal and professional success? Join us as an etiquette coach and change people's lives through the power of etiquette and manners.
The last few days have been really amazing. I had a trainer course from the British School of Etiquette.
And I must say it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made and one of the best investments I've made in my own training and development.
Now, words alone will not describe the transformation and the positive path that I have traveled with the British School of Etiquette.
I found I learned a lot from the lessons this time I came.
The last few days with the British School of Etiquette have been fantastic.
And what I've learned now is really beyond my expectations.
This is the most rewarding experience and the best investment I have made this year.
It was just great. I learned so much, and when I go back to Belgium I will incorporate a lot of it into my day-to-day life and business.
It's been absolutely wonderful for the whole week that we were here.
I feel transformed, and I feel like blowing a trumpet and tell people, come and do this school, this class is the best, this is the best school ever.
You should take it. It will change your life immediately.
I am now able to teach other people how to bring the best of them.
Thank you.
Thank you, BSC.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you to our clients for their testimonials on the Train the Trainer program. Our exponential and global growth is so significant that we've evolved from the British School of Etiquette to the British School of Excellence, where we're investors in people. Let us invest in you and your career. Contact us to become an etiquette coach. Go to thebritishschoolofexcellence.com. Start your career and elevate your success today.
There are also collections of colouring books for parents and kids. Providing world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Join our team of elevated listeners to teach children elevated listening skills. Lady Ella would like to teach you and your family how to listen at an elevated level. If you're interested in learning life lessons as well as how to communicate more effectively as a family, go to Amazon and order Lady Ella's books. They're all there just waiting for you.
Hello everyone, hello and welcome. My name is Roland Friedl, and maybe as you can recognize from my accent, I'm Austrian, so it's a small country in the middle of Europe, in the heart of Europe. And yeah, I'm 59 years old, I'm a father and a grandfather, and from my business background, after my very short but very successful corporate career, I was the youngest member of board of director in a huge business, a huge company. I started my own businesses in different areas, in different industries, and I got a lot of experience, what is working, what is not working. And about 2.5 decades ago, I started a training, coaching, consulting company, Spartan Performance Systems, where I did and still do train and consult international huge businesses worldwide like Xerox and other big players in the world. So we do a lot of sales trainings and management trainings with my team in different languages. That's my main background in business. Besides that, I'm very engaged in men's work and also in the environment. That's my background, make it shortly. So to be honest, I'm very curious about what's going on in the world. And I love to learn, I love to travel. So my huge passion is traveling. Right now, as you can see the background, I'm sitting in my motorhome. So after 14 years living on a beautiful island, I decided to move into my motorhome and travel to Europe and live and work from my motorhome. So, and I got engaged to USA Global TV and Radio actually a year and around 9-10 months ago. A very good friend of mine, he contacted me and asked me if he can invite me for an interview on USA Global TV and Radio. I guess the show was called The Journey of My Life. And to be honest, in the beginning, I said no, because I had very bad experience on interviews in my business careers. I did it twice for a TV channel in Austria. And then they cut it and edited it. And at the end, my comment was totally different than to the reality I said. So I said in the beginning, no, but I trusted this guy. So they said, okay, let's do it. He told me I don't have to fly to the US. I can do it from my home. That was, at the time, this was his island in Mallorca. So, and it was an amazing, and a beautiful conversation. And then Dr. Jacqueline contacted me and asked me if I'm interested in becoming a co-moderator of a show. And so we started the Mallorca Connection, which is a weekly show on Monday, the Mallorca Connection. I got more and more involved. I became an elevated listener because I strongly believe it's important to listen first before you talk. And I had the chance to host and moderate and design my own shows like the Earth Show in the past, the Men shows. I became a talking head, an expert on business topics. So I hosted, moderated, I guess about more than 100, maybe 200, I don't know, idea, shows on USA Global TV and Radio, and I still do. And finally, we started the Eat Your Healthy Lifestyle, a very good show, and we bring a new one on about the planet Earth. Yeah, that's a little bit what I'm doing here on USA Global TV and Radio. So why I'm doing this? First of all, I really love new medias. I love the platform. I love the work that this Dr. Jacqueline is doing to educate people. It's all about sharing, caring, and connecting and networking. And the benefit I got out of this in my personal experience, I learned a lot about myself, to be honest. I learned a lot about my strengths in moderating, in hosting, in talking live in front of a video camera. I learned a lot of myself, where are my strengths, where are my weak points that I have to improve. I met a lot of new interesting people. Some of them became friends of mine. Actually, after all, it's a hell of work, to be sure. Yes, it is, to be prepared, to invite people for the shows, to find new topics, to do research on the facts. But I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about the industry, the media industry. I learned a lot about broadcasting, videos, interviewing. And as I said, I met interesting people, a lot of interesting people, and also made new friends where I'm very happy for that. So yeah, USA Global TV and Radio, it's the platform to connect. It's about sharing and caring. And for me, USA Global TV and Radio is a huge family, and I'm very thankful and grateful for this experience. And yeah, and I guess the best is yet to come. Thanks a lot from Roland from Austria. Thank you. Bye.
Hello and welcome to Empathetic Communications, Mastering Boundaries and Permission. I'm Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck, known professionally as the Listening Mentor on USA Global TV and Radio, where I'm the President, Founder, and Chief Listening Officer. I'm also the author of this book, Mastering the Power of Elevated Listening, an Amazon #1 best-selling book, and the other books that you see here next to me. This course is an opportunity for you to learn how to listen at an elevated level. Why is that important? Because when we're learning how to listen at an elevated level, we actually have inner peace because we are no longer struggling to have control of a conversation. We are not letting our emotions get the best of us. We are truly present and available to give people the gift of elevated listening. I created this course so that as many people as possible could learn what is involved with learning empathetic communication, mastering boundaries and permission. And in this course, you will learn a number of techniques to help you have better relationships, deeper connections, and more authentic conversations. This course is designed for all levels, people who are beginning to understand that there's a need for elevated communication, as well as polished professionals who are in business and industry. Maybe they're in some other field where they're dealing with the public on a regular basis. We will be teaching you how to listen without judgment, without interruption, without providing solutions, and without stealing the stage, all the while learning how to set boundaries and ask for permission in conversations. Thank you so much. I ask you to consider signing up for this course so that you can learn more about empathetic communication and elevated listening. You can also take a look at the other previews that I have set aside for this course. Thank you again, and I look forward to seeing you here on this course and in future courses.
Hi, I'm Kim Adele Randall. I am the co-host for Authentic Achievements, which is also the name of my latest book and the name of my business. The latest book, Authentic Achievements, has the world's longest subtitle, which is the 7 secrets around building brave belief, unstoppable sales, and turning your leaders into talent magnets for guaranteed sustainable growth, which is what I do for organizations globally. I had the absolute privilege of meeting the lovely Dr. Jacqueline almost 2 years ago now, and I'm so honored to be part of this amazing platform. I've met some of the most fantastic people, shared some amazing stories, and never failed to learn something. If you've got a voice that you want to be heard, you've got something out there that you know you can better serve people with, I highly recommend you get in touch with Dr. Jacqueline and come and join us here on USA Global TV and Radio. If you're also looking to take your business to the next level, I would love to connect with you personally. So please do get in touch, kimadelrandall.com or AuthenticAchievements.com, and I would love to share your journey and see how we can help you take it to the next level.
This program has been brought to you in part by Zane Carson Carruth, etiquette and protocol expert, international award-winning author, television show host, and philanthropist. Thank you to Zane, our official diamond sponsor for USA Global TV and Radio in partnership with E360 TV. Zane is the author of the world's first tooth fairy ever, as well as many other children's books. She's also the television host of Elegance, Polished Demeanor, and Posh Living, seen on USA Global TV and Radio.
Hello, Mariska Dupree here, and I am a leadership and development coach that work within the transformation space. And I am also a talking head here on say Global TV and Radio, as well as being part of some of the other programs such as A Woman's Prerogative. And I've been with USA Global TV and Radio and Dr. Jacqueline for quite some time now. So I thought I would let the rest of you into a couple of secrets. So first off, I absolutely love this platform. And that's most probably why I keep coming back. It is such a great group of people to work with. And Dr. Jacqueline continuously look at different ways for everybody to be able to collaborate. So if you are looking for a great space that feels a little bit like family, this is definitely the platform to be at. The other thing that brings a lot of value is, as you may or may not know, we have quite an extensive following. So if you have any programming or any ideas that you would like to bring into the world and get some eyes on what it is that you do, USA Global TV and Radio is definitely the place to be. Now, personally, as I mentioned earlier on, I do my talking head shows, which come.
Hello, everyone.
When we speak, we don't hear. It's abundantly clear. Listening lazy creeping, and nobody's gonna win. Look someone in the eye. If you don't, they surely will cry. You don't hear a word I say, 'cause you always look straight away. Listening lazy, drive people crazy. Listening lazy is making us blue. Listening lazy, communication goes hazy. Listening lazy, listening lazy. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Listening lazy is driving us crazy. Listening lazy is making us blue. Listening lazy is communication goes hazy. Listening lazy is listening lazy. When you interrupt your friend, you will surely have to make amends. Lady Ella knows the way to help you listen better every day. And what's that?
It's listening lazy!
But Listening laces, drive people crazy. Listening laces, making us blue. Listening laces, communication goes hazy. Listening laces, listening laces. Listening laces, drive people crazy. Listening laces, making us blue. Listening laces, communication goes hazy. Listening laces, listening laces, listening laces.